So I'm just going to do a quick one, something I've mentioned on the channel before and something that was asked about when I mentioned it. It's the snack Monster Munch. I bought the multi-pack here because it's got the 3 main flavours. Over the years there have been several flavours, limited edition, some that just didn't make it. They've been around ever since I was a kid at school. So we're just going to take a look at the 3 main flavours today, and we're going to start off with the pickled onion, considering that was the one that was picked up on, and the closest to the dill pickle I was asked about. So okay, we're just going to jump into that. Give me a moment, we'll be right there. Okay, pickled onion in the purple packet with a little yellow monster. Immediately a very strong vinegary smell. That is the main proponent of the pickled onion, is the vinegar. So Monster Munch are these little corn snacks in the shape of, like, they're supposed to be monsters' feet. Back in the day, you were also able to get spider designs, which were kind of like just 2 of those together, but a bit more spidery. But now they've just all sort of like consolidated into the monster foot. So, it's primarily vinegar, a very sour, very tangy kind of flavour, the kind that gets the saliva going because it's that sort of like, it's a juicy flavour, that's what I can describe it as. And I've said in some videos before, when I say like juicy flavour, I don't mean it's literally juicy. It is that it gets sort of like the saliva going, and it gets it all sort of like that kind of tart, tangy taste. A little bit of onion. It's kind of like the after flavour, the subdued bit after you get all the sourness. I think of the flavours, this one might be my favourite, which is weird because it's not normally my favourite flavour for anything. But this one is like just like the most flavourful, sour, tangy, a little bit of sweetness. And the snacks themselves are very crunchy, but very light. Lots of air, very puffy. This is kind of one of those snacks that are recommended for kids because they're very light. You know, there's very, yeah, they're the under 100 calorie snacks, which they tend to push as their own sort of range. But for what it is, very nice. Not very substantial, but very nice. Okay, and next up we've got the roast beef flavour, which is this pink monster here. That's what I always remember it being. So inside we have a very sort of like smoky kind of smell. Darker colour, sort of like a brown seasoning on this one. And it has a very kind of salty, meaty, umami kind of flavour, which I've personally always found to be different to other sort of like beef flavoured snacks. Like you've got the Hoops barbecue beef, and I think Walker's used to have a barbecue beef flavour, and really I think this focuses on more of just like the pure sort of beef flavouring, whereas the others kind of go for a kind of barbecue saucy kind of flavour, barbecue sauce beef, whereas this is more of like a beef broth kind of flavour. Like if you imagine just like a straight up beef stock cube, probably made from the same kind of seasoning actually. So yeah, these are just a very good kind of meaty flavour, a little bit smoky, a little bit kind of a smoky flavour, but yeah, as typical, the flavouring enhancers are sort of like onion, garlic, and spices. It doesn't specify which spices, but yeah. Honestly, I'd like if more crisps snacks did this kind of beef flavour instead of always going for the barbecue side of it. But I suppose that makes this a bit of a unique treat. But, yeah, very nice. Okay, and to finish up, we have the final permanent flavour and the one that was introduced last to Monster Munch, and that is the Flamin' Hot flavour, which is now called Sweet and Spicy Flamin' Hot. When it was released, it was just called Flamin' Hot, and it's not really that hot, it's just a little bit spicy. But as they were kids' snacks primarily, sold like in corner shops near school and things, they're not going to make them that hot for kids. But I never thought they were that hot anyway. So, yeah, these ones have more of an orangey red kind of seasoning on them. The lighting in this spot isn't great, but it's where I'm recording today. Certainly smells very sort of like sweet. And it's kind of like a very, very mild heat. Its flavour is kind of like a little bit tangy, a little bit sweet, obviously. It's kind of like halfway between a sweet and sour and a sweet chili kind of flavour, because it has that little bit of sour tang to it and just a mild amount of heat, so it's kind of like a halfway between the two. Yeah. And there's something to it which kind of, it reminds me of something specific, but I can't pick up what. But it has something kind of like a Chinese spice, like Chinese curry type spice, and like the Thai chili. So overall, it's kind of like an Eastern Oriental kind of flavour. And I think this one was my favourite as a kid. I think before this one, I used to go for roast beef most often, because that was like the meaty flavour, and I like the meaty flavour. But then, after this one came out, this one became sort of like my go-to Monster Munch. I gotta say, this is like the first time I've eaten Monster Munch in like maybe 10 years. Not that I haven't wanted to or had the opportunity, it's just never really crossed my mind. It's like it's always been sort of like in the background. Like, as far as snacks go, these aren't very filling, they're quite small packets and you don't really get a lot to them. So I suppose I always went for snacks that would fill me up more. But yeah, it's been a nice little go down memory lane. I have to say, these ones don't taste like how I remember them. The pickled onion and the roast beef, they taste pretty much exactly the same as I remember them tasting, the same way they've always tasted. But this tastes a little different, and I can't really put my finger on why. But there we go, Monster Munch. Miniature monsters with big crispy heads or crunchy claws plucked straight from sweet and spicy beasts. Bite off each crispy toe, or is it an arm? Nibble the sides or stick your tongue through the hole and let it melt in all its sweet and spicy glory. They've spelt hole wrong. They've put, where is it? Oh, we can't see. No. They've spelt it W-H-O-L-E rather than hole. But yeah, that's it. Monster Munch. Not much to it other than just that's what that is. So yeah, that's a little taste review of a UK based snack for those of you who don't live in the UK. If there are ever any other snacks from the UK that you've heard of that you'd like a review of, I can do those for you too. I did my Cadbury's chocolate tier list a while back, and I ate more chocolate than I probably should have in one go. I was feeling very sickly by the end of it. So, yeah, if there's anything else that you want me to check out from the UK, well, not check out from the UK, but give you a review of for your own curiosity, then let me know, and I can do that, because I can just pick them up and grab them and keep them in my cupboards. So yeah, thank you for joining me, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.